Bollywood means films produced by the Mumbai, formerly the city of Bombay, film industry, primarily in the Hindi language. However, it is often used to summarize all movies produced in India. Bollywood is a style of film characteristic of India, rather than a place, such as Hollywood. India's national movie industry is also often referred to as Hindi cinema. Bollywood is the center of the Hindi movie industry, producing about 20% of Indian movies, the highest percent in the world. However, movies are made in other regions and local languages as well. Bombay became the center of India's Hindi cinema industry when the Lumiere brothers, one of the first filmmakers in history, came to Bombay for the first time in 1896 to introduce their creation, the cinematograph. Indian cinema dates all the way back to 1913, to the production of the silent film Raja Harishchandra, or King Harishchandra in English, the first ever Indian feature film. The film was based on the legend of Raja Harishchandra, a king known for his ideal life, recounted in the Ramayana and Mahabharata, ancient Indian epics. Dadashev Phalke, the director and producer of this film, is now considered the father of Indian cinema for his creation of the first full-length movie in 1913, which was about 40 minutes long. In it, both male and female characters were played by men. Raja Harishchandra was a commercial success and paved the way for more similar films. By the 1930s, just 15 years later, 200 movies were produced in India a year. The first Indian film with sound was Alam Ara, or The Ornament of the World in English, which premiered in 1931. This film portrays a love story between a prince and a gypsy girl. The first Indian talkie, movie with sound, was so popular that police aid had to be summoned to control the crowds. 6 years later, in 1937, Kisan Kanya became the first Indian color movie, surrounding the difficulties and troubles of poor farmers. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, following the expulsion of British colonial control and the creation of the Indian nation, as well as the rival Pakistani nation, and the many conflicts that followed, were particularly trying for Indian leaders. Movies that were produced at that time reflected India's current political situation and hardships. That was the time when India's most critically acclaimed movies were made. At the end of the 1950s, a new trend in Indian filmmaking was born. The new movies featured comedy, laughter, and rock music, rather than dramatic scenes and sad songs. The movies were presenting new concepts, those of love, laughter, and happiness. By the 1970s and until the 1990s, Indian cinema went back to its previous role of recreating the sad and difficult everyday life of society. In the 1990s, the industry went back to the romantic movies and comedies of the late 60s. Music has been a part of Indian cinema since the first audio movie. Alam Ara included 7 songs. The movie Indra Sabha from 1932 included 69 songs. Today, movies from India include between 6 and 10 songs. Bollywood movies are not just about the story, the directing, and the acting. The music in a movie is just as significant. Composers in the Indian movie industry are as important as directors and producers. The style of Bollywood movies has made an impact even on Hollywood productions. Various internationally successful Hollywood movies like Moulin Rouge and Slumdog Millionaire have been inspired by the style and structure of the stories in Indian movies.